Adam.
Yes, Tim. Whoa, it is both too early and too late to be dealing with this level of energy, but what do you want?
Have you watched Heels? Have you watched it? Have you?
Tim, wow, okay. You got to come down from 11 first. No, I haven't watched it. I know it just premiered. I've got some time. Don't worry about it.
No. You have to watch it right now. You have
Tim,
to. No.
Tim, I can't watch it right now. I have to work in the morning, and in fact, I gotta be at work in 4 hours.
No, work can hold. Wait, call out. You have to watch it right now. I'm not leaving until you watch it.
Fine, Tim. If I watch it, you'll leave. You'll disappear?
Yes, I'll leave
Forever?
No, but I'll leave. And, but I'm not leaving until you start watching it.
Fine. I'll watch it. But first, let me go take a massive. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is As the Buckle Turns Reviews, Stars, Heels. My name's Adam.
I'm Tim, and that was really confusing.
It certainly was.
Reviews, stars, heels.
Yeah,
what?
You know what? Whatever. It's late. It's early. It's something right now.
Yeah.
And we just finished up watching the new show Heels, starring Stephen Amell.
We mentioned a few weeks back that we were going to review this episode, and to make sure that we both watched it, and I'm like, I'll try. I'm like, wait, it's an hour program. Unlike pay-per-views where it's like 3 to 4 hours where we can't sit down and then review it afterwards. Wait, why don't we just watch it when I come over?
We certainly can do that.
We
did that.
And that's what we did. No, I was not at Adam's house on Monday morning at 3 o'clock in the morning. That would have been hilarious, though.
Nobody would have answered. No one would have answered.
Yes,
Remy would have.
Yes, someone would have. Remy would have with his shotgun.
Yeah, he'd be like, what the fuck do you want?
He's like, why did you wake me up?
Oh, no, he'd still be awake.
Oh, true.
Yeah, certainly.
Or he was just going to sleep.
Yeah,
but he's
like, oh, no, this. He looks out the window and he's like, oh, hell
oh,
no. I'm going to scare this little white boy.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
And that doesn't scare me. It's like,
you're like,
thanks, Remy. It's like,
bye.
You're not even scared of the...
No, not really.
Nah, you're not going to shoot me. It's like...
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Damn it.
This is New Hampshire. You're not going to shoot me.
I know. I got no reason to.
Then pound on your door. Adam, wake up.
Fuck off.
It's like I can only imagine you open the door. He's like, what are you doing here?
I am such a sound sleeper, I might not even hear it.
I could understand that. No one's more of a sound sleeper than one of my ex-roommates.
Yeah.
He was practically deaf in his both ears. So his alarm would blare at the top, and he still wouldn't, it's right next to him, and he still wouldn't hear it.
Oh, that sucks.
And I'm across, I would have to throw my pillow at him to get him to wake the fuck up.
You know what he needs? He needed a Fitbit.
Yes, he did.
Like one of those, either an actual Fitbit or one of the other, watches that vibrate with the alarm. That way, that would wake him up.
This was like 2017, though.
I know. They didn't have that
stuff.
Not
2017. This was like 2007, so.
You know what he really needed? For you to have a cattle prod. Like, get up.
No, he would not want me to have it. Get up.
I say get up.
I just don't leave.
You're like, eventually somebody else comes in. They're like, Tim, you're supposed to put. Now the battery's dead.
And he's like,
and you're like, pop the battery off, pop a new one on. Got it.
Tim, you're supposed to do this a quick little jab there, not just hold it. Well, it's like one.
They call me Scott Hall.
It's like, don't tell me what to do.
No.
Yeah, it was. There were times I was ready to kill him multiple. I think I'd hold off thinking he'd wake up, and he just wouldn't. I'm just like,
eventually,
no. I would chuck my pillow at him.
That would finally wake him up.
And I would hit him, and he just like, oh, and I was just like, oh my
How
was
do
like,
you sleep like that?
it was a nightmare.
That is terrible.
But yeah, so we literally just finished the premiere episode of Starz' new pro wrestling drama Heels,
It's awesome.
starring Stephen Amell
Yes.
of Arrow fame.
Yes.
Actually, let's bring up the cast.
I mean, I guess we could.
'Cause I had it up at one point, but I'm hoping I still do.
Knowing me, I've probably already completely gotten rid of it.
Yeah, probably me too.
Oh no, I've got it right here.
Okay, good, because I have it too. I just have to go back a few times.
Okay, so we got Stephen Amell,
Yes.
Alexander Ludwig, who plays Ace Spade. Stephen Amell plays Jack Spade.
Yep.
They are the Spade brothers. They are it tells you right off in the first 5 minutes of the show
Yeah.
that they are the biggest rivals in the company. Ace is your number one guy. He's the face of the company, and Jack, the current champion, is
the heel.
Is the heel. He's the bad guy. Everyone hates him
And
except for his wife,
Yeah.
Stacy
And Kelly Bergland plays Crystal. Clearly a wannabe wrestler
Yes.
who's Ace's valet.
Yes.
Girlfriend?
Girlfriend?
Girlfriend? We'll get to that in a little bit. And then you have Allison Luff, who plays Stacy Spade.
Yes.
Those are the main stars, because then you start getting into some of the guest stars, like CM Punk plays Victory Beast, but he doesn't show up until episode 3.
Okay.
James Harrison plays Apocalypse. I'm assuming that's one of the Chris Burrow. Why does that name? He seems familiar. Plays Wild Bill Hancock in the episode. Why does he? I gotta look him up right now because that face looks so familiar. Oh, maybe from True Blood. I'm thinking of.
Maybe.
Anyway, but this is other people. But those are the main ones you got to see in this episode. You do introduce to their mother in there, and a few other people, and you get to see some later in the episode. You get to see a special guest star of Doc Gallows.
Yeah, holy crap. That was actually really awesome to see.
I caught him out of the corner of my eye of a bunch of wrestlers in the locker room. I just like, that's Doc Gallows, right? And
And I'm like, rewound it just a moment.
and we paused
yes,
it.
it
And
is.
it's like, that's Doc Gallows. And then we see him again.
It almost, it's his it's almost his standard ring gear, too.
Yeah. But those are the main stars. So just to give you background on what the show is. This is not a big time wrestling organization. No, this is your local wrestling in Georgia promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Duffy, Georgia is where it's located. It has a big enough population to have a show where everyone in town comes to watch. You're laughing at something.
Yeah, Doc Gallows' real name.
What's Doc Gallows' real name?
Andrew Hankinson. Oh, now I want to go to a show and have him there and be like, Andrew!
No.
Andrew!
Hanky! Hankinson!
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 Andrew!
But yeah, so Duff is a small town. Duffy just has about...
I wouldn't say it's a small town, but it definitely is able to, through the overall community, draw enough people to fill a 1,000-seat place.
Nah, I'd probably say
500.
Maybe 500 of them. Maybe not even say 300 because that it looks big, but if you look at that,
it's an old barn.
It's an old barn, but here's the thing: if you look at that, and if you went to where NXT is,
it's about the same.
It's 300 people.
Yeah, maybe.
So
you might be able to fit 200 more in the upper deck.
No, even with the upper deck, I'm saying
maybe.
I'm counting. That's what I'm counting in. I'm thinking about maybe that's where you could get the 500 in.
Yeah.
But I would say more than 400 at the most. But maybe we'll get some more numbers. But this is the first time in a long time since the Spade's dad and Wild Bill's feud where they were selling out and actually making money.
Right.
So that's where this whole restart. The opening of the show is Jack Spade defending the DWL championship against a
Big Tom.
Big Dom.
Tom.
Big Tom in a matchup, and he retains. He attacks the ref, insults the crowd, and then the music hits like WWE, and out comes Ace Spade. Gets in there, attacks his brother, cuts a promo. The fans are going wild and everything, mocking his brother for being a coward. Wants his championship belt, and then does the a no because there are children there.
Yes.
He says fuck.
He drops an F-bomb.
Oh no! I mean I just swore, and we have children. Our
it's Big Jim.
Our three listeners aren't children. Are they children?
I don't know, honestly.
We list this as not for children, right?
Yeah, it's not directed to children at all.
So children are still watching this.
I mean, if you're listening, thank you. You're awesome.
But anyway, that goes. You instantly see in Jack's face. Oh no. And he even gets in his brother about saying fuck because there's children there. He's supposed to be a good guy.
I mean, you very quickly realize that the persona in front of the crowd and the persona backstage of both Ace and Jack are the complete opposites.
And it really feels like this is something that you would see not just on a small town, even on the national level.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s or territorial days, where the big star, while he's playing a babyface, years later after they're retired or something, you found out this guy was an asshole. He was not a good guy.
Exactly.
Because of kayfabe, you protected the business.
Yes. And that's another thing that that Jack protects is kayfabe.
Because one of the first things you see is like they build up after the opening of the show is next week we're gonna get Jack Spade versus Ace Spade for the title, and we open up the day of 1 week later of the show, and Jack, who runs the company, writes the script and everything.
Yeah.
He's trying to figure out who should go over. He asks different people multiple times.
He asked his wife. He asked Willie.
He asked his mom.
Yeah, he asked his mom, who just immediately is just like, I'm not part of this. Like, clearly, Dad ran the company for the longest time.
Yep.
He was the lead booker, and Mom was just like, you have fun with your little theater.
Yeah.
And Dad was just like, it's pro wrestling, it's not theater. And Jack's like, it's pro wrestling, it's not theater.
You guys,
it's theater.
His wife is very devout Christian, wants to go to church.
Yeah.
You get the sense
guilts him into going.
You get the sense that Jack, he believes, but he doesn't need to go to church. Is what I kind of took away from him.
Also, his church has ropes and a mat. Yeah. His church is is the wrestling ring.
But you get it from the idea like when he actually goes to church, because he actually does go.
Oh yeah.
After being roped in. By the way, what was the actress' name who plays his wife?
Allison Luff.
I love her. She only has a few scenes in the pilot.
Oh, I'm already I love the character.
I love the character, the chemistry between her and Stephen Amell.
Yes.
There's a spot where she's kind of guilting him into going to church and everything, and getting after church we can go see a movie. I'll leave
and flirting with him.
I'll leave my panties in the car. And she turns and has a little boop with her butt.
Just a little
bit, and then walks off, and he's just like,
ha.
Stephen Amell is just like, what am I supposed to do with this?
It's really like every man in every relationship has had a moment where you're like, there's been a lot of stress in my life lately, and that just happened in front of me, and I don't know how to process it right this second.
No, it's not even that. It's like, oh yeah, but should I just take her now?
I want to just. No. But we got to go to church.
I got to shower too.
Oh, and I got to take a shower. Yeah. But you very quickly realize that Jack protects the business.
Yes. But I before we go there, okay. I just got to praise his wife here. The actress who plays. She's just a very unique.
I love the fact that because it's a community.
Yeah.
And they know that that's his wife. She is openly allowed to cheer him during his matches.
Yep.
And
his son boos him.
I know.
But anyway, like
He's
just that
caught
idea,
up.
like I also like the fact that
What a mark.
She's the one who's thinking more of a business,
Right.
smart, whereas Jack is thinking business.
I need this.
I need this, but he's not thinking how to do it the cheapest.
Yes.
He still get what you want, but get it for the cheapest. And that's a cool little dynamic I'm looking forward to see as the season progresses.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, huge, like...
All of the characters are immediately well fleshed out.
I love this cast. They did an excellent job of casting. Don't get me started on Crystal. We'll get to her in a few minutes.
Well, for me, another standout character is Willie.
Yes. But we'll get to Willie in a second because he doesn't come until later. But anyway, when we get to church, this is when we really see that Jack protects the business.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of dialogue in the first part of the season, or the first part of the episode, to get non-wrestling fans caught up to wrestling.
Yes.
Because it's like, where's Jack? I saw he's there. He's in the car. He doesn't like to mingle, especially on match nights. He gets it. It's a small community. They see him all the time. But on the night he's going to be performing,
yep,
he doesn't like to remind people he's a normal person. He's
right.
a likable person.
Well, not just that. He would have been mingling with his brother.
Yeah.
Who he's supposed to be having a match with that night.
Who they hate each other.
They hate each other.
And in a sense, they
they totally do.
Not hate each other. They disagree on a lot.
Well, I mean, one sibling feels that the other one has overshadowed him.
And also one's a little bit younger.
Yes.
Is younger than the other.
Right.
But we see that Jack is very the one. He's trying to keep the legacy. And as the episode goes on, we get to see this is the reason why their dad, which there's obviously issues between the two.
Yes.
Even though he's dead, picked him to run the business, make those decisions.
He's got a mind for it. I gotta say that.
Yeah.
Because the opening is a match with Big Jim, and you see it being written out.
Yep.
And then you see it happen in the ring, and you're like, oh, he knows what he's writing about. While later on, his brother does pitch their match, and it is terrible. No offense, that is a terrible pitch.
Not necessarily. But
it was a hit. No, okay.
We'll get to it in a second. We agree. I think I'm pretty sure we'll agree on this. But you're seeing one day. This whole episode takes place basically over one day.
Yes.
And it's Jack Spade trying to figure out whether it's time for him to drop the belt to his brother, who is the babyface.
It's huge over with the crowd.
Or should he keep the belt for the story? And all these things that keep getting thrown at him that have to make him like.
I mean, it's the conundrum that you have.
Yep.
Do you give the audience what they want now?
Yep.
Or do you subjugate the audience's want to make them want it, to make them pop even harder when it does happen?
Yep. And then we just see all these different things constantly being thrown at Jack
over and over and over and over
throughout the day to determine that's going to affect this finish. And one of the big things we see is Ace is with Big Jim. Is it Big Jim?
Yep. Yes.
At a convenience store, and he's talking about when I get the belt, I'll be $100.
You know you're gonna win,
or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll get you back. So Big Jim pays for him some stuff,
some snacks,
and then he steals a pack of gum. And the not attractive, overweight teller calls him out on it and saying, "I don't say anything because your dad was nice to our family and everything," and he's the babyface. And as we always kind of saw a little bit in the beginning, we finally get the rock solid. He's not a good guy.
No.
He's selfish. He cares about himself.
He straight up insults her to her face.
And even ruins the image of his father for her.
Yeah.
In there. And there's a witness to it. And we were calling this is going to get out.
It's going to get back.
And as soon as a phone call comes, And there,
It's that girl's father
no,
or brother.
maybe the guy in the store was her father. I can't
Okay,
remember.
maybe.
You don't get it clear. It could be either.
They did mention it was the same last name. It was Mr. Cooper.
Yeah, so maybe it was her father. So
Yeah.
maybe it was, but calls, and then next thing you know it, we're in the ring. We're getting the finishes for all the matches in there.
Yep.
And this is where you also see Jack Spade. He has a mind for the business. He's talking about Big Jim's last man standing match.
Yeah.
And how he's like, you wait when you're the last second.
Him and Apocalypse are going to be the last two in the ring, last two standing.
Like, wait when you think he has enough, you pop back, you throw him over, and bam.
And you get the win.
And they were like, yeah! Like, the wrestlers are like, yeah, we like that.
Like, even the guys that are going out early are going, that's a great finish.
Yeah. And then Big Jim is, we see, before we get to right there, we're seeing some of the other finishes, but we then get Big Jim and Ace showing up a little rushed.
Yeah.
And you get the idea it's because of Ace.
Oh, yeah.
Not because of Big Jim, because of Ace. And then you get the finish for Ace, and it's a straight up pinfall. And he's just pissed.
Oh, yeah.
And
But at the same time, I understand, that I was like, it's not going to be a clean finish.
Yeah.
It can't. And when it fully gets.
well, we'll get there.
Okay.
But at this point in the show, it's a clean finish. Because we don't get the details yet.
There's no details. It's just like
He says
it's just a pin.
a pinfall. Then they go and have an argument over this stuff, and Jack has rationalized why this is going to work.
Yes.
But it's not good enough for Ace, who's the biggest thing. He should be the champion.
Like Jack explains to him, he's like, "No, dude, they want you to win.
I'm taking it away from you.
I'm taking it away from you. I am getting heat.
So you're down. So you build yourself back up. So when you do come back, and when it's bigger,
They go absolutely nuts.
But he also points out, I got a call from so and so's father at the market, and it's like, and
you can't be doing that.
Yeah, because he won't protect kayfabe like Jack will.
Yeah.
Then things get even a little bit more wild when Wild Bill shows up, who made it to the big time up north.
Yes, up north.
Outside a name drop of Vince McMahon, a guy thinking he's Vince McMahon, we never actually get WWE's name mentioned, but up north.
Yes.
Which is what everyone called WWE back in territory days.
Oh, yeah.
Even in WCW, up north. You're going to go
Yeah,
north?
Wild Bill Hancock comes back. It was Dad's biggest rival.
Yep. Train the boys, do some barbecue.
Oh.
He's there because he's sent to scout Ace for developmental.
But he does come straight up to Jack, and he's like, hey, look, this is why I'm here.
Yep.
I'm going to let you know.
And I think he can pick it. And so now Jack's like, oh, can I keep him here? But if I put the belt on him?
If I put the belt on him, he has to stay.
Will he stay? Because if he doesn't, he's going to spit on where he came from.
That'll actually hurt him as a face going forward.
So we get these different things that are thrown out at him. Ace get some advice from Wild Bill. Sometimes you got to throw some real ones in there.
Also giving him a lot of alcohol, some Oxycontins.
Yep.
And basically just being like, I'm going to treat you like a rock star, kid.
That he doesn't want. He refuses. Right before the match, he takes them.
Yep. Which is really weird. He shouldn't have been able to feel that armbar at all. He should have just been like, all right, that's cool, man. Woobly!
Unless he really was deep into it.
Oh, no. Enough Oxy, you won't feel anything.
That's true. But anyway,
yes.
We also got, let's look at Ace right now as a character.
Okay.
Because we have a valet, Crystal.
Yes, Crystal.
Like, when you introduced to, you see her come out at the beginning of the episode with Ace when he does a save, run in and a save.
And honestly, kind of just Ace.
You don't really
Ace
notice
physically
her.
reminds me of Edge. Honestly,
I think there's a big Edge inspiration there.
Yeah.
Because it does similar body tone to Edge.
Yep.
Music, not this about rock.
Like, all he needs to do is throw the horns one time coming through the entrance, and I'm like, that's Edge. You just did Edge.
And
it's like, thanks, guys.
And you just need, you think you know me.
By the way, I heard at work a little while ago.
Yeah.
I heard that music,
Yep.
the actual full song.
Yep.
And by the way, what they use for
Mm.
Edge is the breakdown.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing it, and I'm like, I know that chorus. And then the breakdown happens, and I was like, oh my God, it's
Edge.
Royal Rumble 2020 all over again.
Yeah.
Oh, the tingles. Oh, I do know you. Okay. And then the song ends, and I was like, well, that was cheap.
But
Yeah.
So Crystal, she's kind of, when you first see her at the very beginning of the episode, getting kissed by Ace because
Yeah.
the valet backstage kissing him.
Maybe
Yeah.
boyfriend, maybe girlfriend,
yeah.
who knows?
But you really get to see her when after the show open, like the credits opener runs, and you're seeing them in the ring. Like after we're actually getting to the ring on the
Practice time.
and there's a new guy in there. He's like, you're supposed to wait to sell it. Like, why are you laughing? Like, you're supposed to be like, this is practice. Like, so?
No. You sell it all the time.
Yeah, it's like, go up there, drop an elbow. I'll show you how to. The guy drops an elbow. A really good looking bad elbow.
Yeah, it looked amazing at being a bad elbow.
And the guy sells it. You think he's selling it, but he's like, no, you hit, like that fucking hurt, dude.
You
He's like, "What?
actually hit
Hit me."
that one.
Like, what do you mean? Like, you told me to drop an elbow, and she's up in the bleachers, and she goes like, because you put all your weight into his elbow onto his chest.
No, you put it in your leg,
Legs and
and
your
you let your
elbow
your arm go limp.
Limp when you hit him.
He'll sell it from there.
Yeah. Showing that she knows what she's talking about, and constantly throughout the episode,
She's making little comments like this.
she's very clearly she wants to wrestle. She's having an issue with the Spade's mother, who says,
No,
"Can
that's not Spade's
Can
mom.
I get a locker, a spot in the locker?" Like, it's like that's for wrestlers. You're valet. You don't get that.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's Willie, who's not Mrs. Spade.
what? Oh, it's not Mrs. Spade.
No, not at all.
Oh, it's not. I thought that was their mom.
Nope, that's Willie. She is basically the stage manager.
Oh, okay. I just took it as their mom. Okay. But constantly she is telling you basically saying you don't belong here. Honey.
Oh yeah.
And there's an episode.
This is for the talent.
When she actually gets caught in the locker room, she confronts her and is like, "I'm not gonna tell you again. You don't belong." Like, I was just looking, like, and it's just clearly she doesn't think women should wrestle. That's the kind of mind frame I got from it, in my opinion.
Maybe. It also, she looks at her and goes, "You're a valet.
Yeah.
You're not. This is for the wrestlers."
Yeah.
And she's like, "But I can wrestle."
But I'm taking it as like the way some of the acting was said. I was getting like, yeah, this is for the wrestlers. You're simply a valet. You don't wrestle because that's for the.
That's the guys.
Because she is from their dad's generation, who's still running this element,
Right.
In a sense, in that day, women rarely wrestled, only like the certain spots. And it was hard and everything. So, but oh my God, I just love the actress who plays her. Now she steals like the Jack Spade's wife. A lot of these scenes that she's in, she just steals the show. One of the best spots in there is when Ace comes back after having his argument with Jack over the finish. And he learns the actual details of the finish.
Yeah.
And he's like, God damn it. And she brings up a story about how when she was 15, and he was like a big star in the baseball, and they lost, and watching him cry. I didn't cry. I wasn't crying.
No crying.
But seeing him be at his lowest and then have him come back wasn't a bad thing. Kind of reinforcing what his brother just told him. And of course, this leads to a sex scene between the two.
Yeah.
Only to be interrupted because everyone's gone home. Only to be interrupted,
Everyone
like,
went home except for Diego Cottonmouth.
Yeah. He was like, thanks for letting me finish my dump.
No, he's like, just let me know when you're done so I can finish.
I can finish. And as he walks by, he's like, everyone.
Not looking.
He's
Not
like,
looking. Not looking.
Everyone went home, huh?
Uh-huh.
It was the great thing. So let's talk the finish of the end of the show, the end of the episode. So we finally get to the show.
So, well, first of all, the original finish, which was...
Oh, yes, we got to talk about the pitch.
Yes. Well, but the original finish is that Jack looks like he's gonna... Ace looks like he's gonna have it beat.
Yes, but he showboats.
He starts to showboat, and it's a schoolboy roll-up.
No, he goes to pin, then Jack...
oh, it's just a quick roll.
Grabs him in a cradle. No, a crucifix pin, I believe.
No, a cradle.
A cradle. Yeah,
which is just a simple roll-up, the most devastating move in all of pro wrestling.
WWE, at least.
In all of pro wrestling.
WWE.
Even in NUA.
In WWE, and it seems to be that working its way into AEW now.
It actually...
I like the finish.
I love the fact that it is the most devastating move because it just catches everyone off guard.
If you do it right, a good roll-up can work perfectly. Especially when you're trying to extend a feud.
Yes.
But so that's the original finish.
Yes, and Jack goes out the winner.
Yep.
Basically,
that was the feud. That's why Crystal tells the Spade.
Yes.
But when after we get Wild Bill come in,
okay,
and he decides
Ace's
you don't actually see Jack make the change.
Nope.
We get to a point where Ace is pitching a finish.
Yes.
And it's like,
oh,
for what Jack wants to elevate.
That's all it was going to do was elevate.
That's what he was trying to extend it out to build up to a bigger celebration when Ace finally won the belt.
Yes.
And everything. What Ace pitches is a finish, an end.
It's an absolute end to it.
It's the end of the story.
Yeah.
And Jack is like,
I can't work with this.
then where do we... The whole thing that's been drawing people is
you and I.
How can we have a finish where it ends it? And it's just...
in the first match.
Well, not the first match. From what I gather, this has been going on.
Well, no, yes, but I don't think that it's been a...
It's been a first match in a long time.
Yeah. I don't think
that.
it's so much of a, okay, this has been a continuous thing. It's been a, hey, they ran into each other, and this match between, Jack and Big Tom, or Big Tom.
Big Jim.
Big Jim was the end of that run. And Ace is coming in to now work the scene. Even though I did like Jack's pitch to Big Jim.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Because we're getting to the finish.
There's a lot of pitches that happen.
Yes, and it feels exactly what could happen in pro wrestling.
Oh yeah,
especially on a smaller scene.
Oh, of course.
When things start get thrown out of your way, especially of you may be losing your tops on babyface.
Yeah.
So here's what happens. Like after Jack hears the pitch, he's like, I just can't. No, we're going with the original finish because he just can't work with. Because it's
I'm sorry. Like
Spade,
a number.
Spade asks everyone out there. He's like, dude, it's a finish. It's not like. What do we do?
Like, and not just that. Like half the stuff that he was pitching, that Ace was going to do to Jack.
Yeah.
Were things that were actively heelish.
Mm-hmm.
Like tricking his opponent, purposely breaking a 3 count to continue the punishment.
Because you want,
Like you only get that if the babyface has been beat down so much, or you go in the path of you go a little 50-50 between the two of them, and you're building up the two of them just one-upping each other with violence to the point that Ace needs to do this.
Yeah.
He needs to get. He's like, know what? Pin count is not going to be enough tonight.
But we don't get that from the history.
No.
Of that.
Like really, this is kind of
So
it's pitched as if Jack's going, no, this is the start of our run together.
But Jack decides to go with original finish. This isn't go over. When Wild Bill shows up and pitches him to go to developmental, he's like, yeah, I'll go out. And that's when but he's trying to think maybe I should still put the belt on him, make him hurt him. So one of the things he's thinking about happening, he goes to pitch to Big Jim.
Yeah.
About turning heel. He's getting up there with
he's
the
a
fans.
big baby face right
The
now.
fans like it, really like him. Not as
Yeah.
much as Ace, but with the right momentum, he probably could be in a few years as big as Ace.
And
So he pitches him to turn heel on Ace after the finish. But Jack is down.
Jack's out.
So when
he's down.
So basically the pitches, he comes out, he's not waiting anymore, he's done with this.
He's taken his main event spot now.
Back. I want it back into the spot. So he's attacking Ace, beating him down. Jack is like quite like what comes to me is like, wait, I'm a heel, but like that's my brother.
That's my biggest enemy, and that's my brother.
Yeah.
And my biggest enemy is attacking my brother.
So
that's still family, bro.
So he turns around.
Dominic Toretto would be proud of you.
To help help his brother, and now he's a baby face, and
Jim's the heel,
and his brother can go off to greener, less brown pastures. I love that line.
Less brown pastures.
What happens when people go to greener? Less brown patches.
It's not greener. It's greener pastures. It's just less brown.
Yeah, which is a great line, and it's a great little twist. And then we get Jim telling us he's retiring after his match tonight.
After this is it,
because
he's going out with that big multi-man match win.
Yep. Because in the beginning, when we're at the church scene where we get that little catching you up on non-wrestling,
giving you some lingo.
His wife doesn't understand it. Big Jim's wife doesn't understand it.
She don't get kayfabe.
She didn't get that and all that. So we're explaining it to her so the audience gets to hear it.
And she's very pregnant.
So he's like, but she doesn't get it. She's worried about him getting hurt.
Yep.
But if I get now, at some point I could be a manager at the local grocer.
We think it's the local grocery store.
Yeah, we're pretty sure that it's what it is eventually. So he's retiring. Jack does not pressure him. I thought that was great because that's one of the things you could definitely see
At the same time, you know that Jack had the same idea when his son was about to be born or was just after he was born. He was like, I want to be at home. I want to be someplace safe for them so I can always provide for them. And then I don't know if Dad died.
I don't think that. I don't get that. I get that. I think
he understands it.
I think he understands
He's like,
that.
No, as a father, I get that.
I think he would love that, but he's so ingrained into wrestling.
Yeah.
He can't give that up.
Oh, and his little boy is going to be as well.
So that ruins another finish for the match.
I know. Even though that would have been a great finish. Everyone get to walk out great.
Again, you're getting to see that Jack does have the mind for this business.
Oh, absolutely. He's a Dusty Rhodes.
Yep. And then we finally get to the matchup. We get those things with Ace meeting with Wild Bill. Sometimes you get a pop, taking the drugs.
Yep.
We get Crystal. We even got this
straight up asking,
"Are you taking me when you leave?"
Yeah.
Ducky?
And he doesn't even respond. Doesn't even look at her.
And it's just like there's so much going on here. It's great. And then we finally get to the main event.
Oh yeah.
Ironically, the champ goes out first. Champ goes out last.
Yeah, champ always goes out last. Even if your big star is your baby face, your champ goes out last.
Yes.
Whatever.
But
different promotions do different things.
But for the show, it worked in a sense. You get out there. Jack teases the bell. Ace turns around, drops it, runs attack, suplex him.
German suplex, I think. Yeah.
No, I don't think it was a German suplex. It was more. Maybe it was. It seemed like more of a back suplex.
But either way.
Then locks him basically in the Rings of Saturn. A double armbar. One leg's locked in his legs, one behind his arm, pulling for real.
Yeah, he's putting that is a deep armbar.
And his brother's hurting, and the ref's like, "Dude, you're gonna hurt him." He's like, "You have to call it." It's like, I'm not stopping. You gotta call it.
You gotta call
this. And the ref's is like, dude, and it's like, ring the bell. And everybody
And the place
ring,
goes silent.
and it goes silent, and he gets up and he's just like, Ace gets up, decks his brother for real.
Clearly holding the arm. He has the face is red. He has been crying.
He's pissed.
He actually was screaming out while in this arm bar. Please let it go. Please stop. Not exactly a good thing for your baby face to be screaming out.
Pissed off, and the fans just start booing, and the fans start throwing their popcorn drinks at Ace.
The way it's first framed, the way you see, it's just a straight up shot of Jack Spade.
Well, when you see, and then
you start to see things flying, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna be throwing it at Jack because that is the most heel thing ever. And then Ace gets hit in the ring.
Yep, by popcorn, and it's just like, oh,
and more things, and nothing hits Jack.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh.
He just looked. They
the
look at him.
hometown crowd turned on you, Ace.
Jack pulled a Montreal screw job.
And a double turn, kind of.
Sort of. We don't know because it's only the first episode.
Right. I mean, but
it seems like that.
He put himself over as the face, and his brother is.
He quit. Apparently, he gave up.
Yeah.
So quickly in the matchup.
Yeah, that was fast.
They were expecting a big, long matchup, and then Ace. So it's just like, oh.
No, I do like the fact that when the very beginning of when Jack is telling everyone the finishes to the matches and all that, and he goes, "Yeah, me and my brother main event, 30 minutes, pin finish, myself over Ace,
and then this is like 30
and this is 35 seconds,
probably of actual in ring action when if you were watching it for in real time, and everything." So it was this, and that's where an episode ends. It's just great. Now, there's one thing I want to bring up. We haven't brought up at all throughout this.
Yes.
On top of everything that's already going on, we get these little glimpses of this other promotion down in Florida.
Very much a hardcore,
gritty. Apparently loves Abyss and TNA.
Yeah, a lot of the video was from early TNA stuff.
Yep.
Because there was a Samoa Joe in there.
You don't really. You can if you're watch TNA when Samoa Joe was in the early days. You don't get to see a clear face
it's
shot,
the trunks.
But you can see the body, the trunks. It's clearly
it's him.
So Samoa Joe. It's clearly Abyss. You can see.
Oh no, he looked. That's a full on right to the camera.
But you get this little thing like this is no DLW. Like I'm gonna move on and like that. So
it's kind of a GCW deathmatch hardcore. ECW, CZW type of thing.
Clearly bigger than DWL, but
yes,
not on the level of Ring of Honor, Impact yet. Though the
PWG,
the footage though kind of makes it look.
Impact.
It was actually TNA when they had a bigger crowd than they actually do now, but I would say it's probably a little bit bigger than Guerrilla Pro Wrestling. PWG, and everything, but it's bigger than DWL. That's the big thing. It's just sprinkling these little things, so there's added pressure there. Jack clearly doesn't think the guy thinks he's Vince McMahon. That was the Vince McMahon line.
I'm willing to bet we're gonna start to figure out that other company has money, but they don't have the booking talent.
Yeah, I think
like Jack has the booking talent. This guy's just like, go out there and bash each other for 10 minutes, okay? Jeez, whatever. Make us money.
Because the thing is, we don't get much. We get those hints of it.
Yeah.
When you watch the next episode, we actually meet the guy who runs it.
Tease for next week.
And he says, "No, it's not that I'm coming for DWL. I'm already here." Like he has a grudge against DWL. He's a grudge against the Spades family.
But we don't know what it is yet.
Yeah. So you get this little tease for future stuff that was going to be additional storylines coming up in episodes.
Yes.
In this pilot. This was definitely. Let me explain this in pro wrestling fan terms.
Yes.
This entire episode is written like a pro wrestling episode of television.
Yes.
But, for drama.
Exactly.
If you want to write an episode of pro wrestling for a drama, like how you write a pro wrestling show, and do it for a drama television, even if it wasn't pro wrestling,
This is a great example.
this is how you would do it.
Yep.
You would absolutely write this. This is how your beginning is. A recap of last week's
Yes.
is the opening when we see the whole thing with Ace, and then when we get to the day of the the opening, him trying to figure out that's your opening matchup. That's
Yes.
just to warm the crowd up, and as you get going on, each match, each little
It
problem,
just the show kept building itself
um
all the way up to the craziness of the finish, and you're like, wait, you cock blocked me on this
Yeah.
finish though, and it's brilliant.
So one of the things that Anna and I were constantly doing throughout the episode is making predictions of what was going to happen at the end of the episode.
Yes.
And then next thing you know, it happens. But we were making predictions like the change of the finish by the end of the episode. No, it happened then. Then we get this.
But
It was literally, we were making predictions and then we would get something different. We get it right.
another little bit of information.
And then by the time we got to, we were not calling. A screw job was not even in my mind frame.
No, because at that point we had, well, is he going to put the belt on his brother and keep him here?
Yeah.
Because he has to come back next week.
Yep.
Or does he let his brother just go?
Or does his brother win the championship and then leave, risk hurting his career? Now, here's the best part of it all. We mentioned this before. Wild Bill tells Ace that sometimes you gotta take some real hits in there.
Yeah.
Jack is not in this conversation.
Not at all.
And Jack is the one who pulls it off first.
He
and
makes
the
it a shoot.
best. Yes, Ace gets a real punch in afterwards.
But that's after the match.
But so we get the idea that Ace is going to get a few lickings in this matchup for real, just to kind of hurt his brother. It's like, hey, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to take some lickings on you.
Yeah. You're gonna get, if I'm taking the pin, I'm gonna hit you.
I'm going to hit you a few times just so you know I'm going down and I'm leaving.
Yeah.
But I'm going out. I'm getting the.
But I'm gonna go out with the fans.
Yeah. And then his brother's the one who does it, almost like he didn't need someone to tell him. He already knew it.
Yeah.
So it's just like again, Adam like constantly making predictions, little things here, all these things, and it felt like the writer, the showrunner who actually wrote this pilot was already thinking, okay, we put this in. They're thinking this. Are gonna thinking this is gonna come at the end of the episode. Nope, I'm putting it right after the 2-3 minutes after the This is a small town. Cell phones exist now.
Yep.
This can happen faster, and that's the brilliance of it.
Exactly.
Like, this show was excellent. Adam,
Yes.
what would you rate this pilot?
Fucking loved it.
What would you out of 5? 1 out of 5.
5. It's a really, because sadly 5 is perfect.
Yeah.
It's a very close to 5, like 4.7, 4.8.
To me, I don't give perfect scores.
I don't either.
I don't believe in it. I have actually had to give perfect scores because
I know.
when you deal with companies, if you don't give them a perfect score, the person can get in trouble.
Right.
Which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Never understood that either.
Because there's always room for improvement. And
Yeah.
there's plenty of room for improvement. But honestly
There's such thing as human error.
though, I was so blown away. I just said, a 5.
It caught, like, sometimes shows about, like, Glow.
Yeah.
I was watching Glow to go, ooh, what else did it was kind of a nostalgia trip,
Yep.
me finding out more about the glorious ladies of wrestling,
Yep.
Knowing that it's dramatized, and I was
Yep.
like, all right, this is, it's cool, but I was watching it for the spectacle.
Yeah.
Heels, I went into it looking for the spectacle.
Yeah.
And instead, I walked out going, look, you guys don't have to show me what happens in the ring. The level of drama in this
Yeah.
alone, of just a dude running a wrestling company, I will watch that.
So I went in this to see how they were going to do a wrestling show. Like, I watched Glow. I watched it. I enjoyed the first season. I never went back to it because it's an hour-long drama. I don't have a lot of time.
The second season was good.
I plan on watching everything that's out there for Glow at some point.
Yeah.
Because I did enjoy the first season. But I can't say I was ever in the first season. There's only one episode I can say for a fact that it really drew me into the episode. And that was the finale.
Yeah.
That was a really good, because you got to see a lot more of the wrestling and some of the issues that was going on and everything. And they pull what they pull in there, and then the guy who's running it pulls his own shit.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, you guys were thinking, great. I have my own stuff in mind. Showing no, he understands wrestling. But anyway,
Yeah.
but that drew me in. But so I was watching this. I wanted to see how they were doing. I love Stephen Amell as an actor.
Yes.
I knew he can act. If you watch Arrow, he does really well in that character. And if you watch this and you go and watch that, you're like, where did he get that? No, it goes to
It's
show
always
you.
been there.
It goes to show you he can match the type of acting he needs for what he's doing. Except for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. No one acts in that entire
No.
movie. Ever. Great concept with Crane and everything. Love the concept. But no one fucking acts in it. It's Transformers, but in Ninja Turtles.
Oh, God.
That's basically how to describe that movie.
It's terrible.
But the concept of it, having Crane, you had the plot elements there. If you just had people who were acting in different changes to it, it could have been pretty good. There's a reason why there was never a third one.
Good. Good.
But anyway,
yes.
But you could see that he's matching the kind of acting you would get for a CW show,
Yeah.
a superhero show on CW.
Oh, yeah. When he was on air.
Yeah, and he got better. Here you can see, no, he can fucking act.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, that was one of the things that was a great thing when he announced a Showtime level show
Stars.
on Stars. Oh yeah, Stars. I keep thinking it's Showtime for some reason.
No, it's
but
not.
I don't know why. Stars just
It's Stars.
Stars just never registers to me for some reason.
That's kind of the thing about Stars.
I know.
They've had some great series, but it's Stars.
But the one of these premium channel type shows.
Yes.
I love that he got onto because one, you get to who dominates the TV awards most of the time.
Network television?
No, like for the best
Oh,
dramas.
yeah.
It's
Premium channels.
premium channels. Game of Thrones.
Or extended, what is it? Extended cable?
Sometimes, yeah. Network and cable are two different things. Cable
Yeah.
is like.
Well, then there's
USA.
basic cable.
Basic cable is basically the same thing as network.
Oh, okay.
At this point.
So, yeah, cable.
Because network is basically anything
Because-
that's broadcasts.
You had A&E for a while.
Yeah. But anything like those is what we consider. But premium channels usually the ones that get those things. You do get some now. We're getting from Netflix every so often. We're
Yep.
getting them from Amazon.
Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu.
Those are
I
Hulu.
consider those kind of the new version
Yeah,
of
that's
the
what
premium.
I do. So do I. Same thing. I absolutely agree with you on that.
Yeah.
So, but seeing that, I'm like, great. We're actually gonna see what he can actually do.
Mm-hmm.
See if he can actually get a show like he can be on that can maybe be in award season. May not win, but at least get nominated.
Exactly.
Based on this pilot. Now, here's the thing with pilots. You have to know this. Pilots get 2 to sometimes 3 times the budget for a normal episode.
Yeah, I kind of feel that this wasn't truly a pilot, though.
It all depends on where you are. I don't know how Stars does it. Like, I know Netflix has a no pilot episode policy. You pitch them, they do their thing within their audience. They claim at least. That's a big thing. That's a big thing we learned at Full Sail and High. They claim they have this. When Netflix says they do it, I kind of believe them because they do have those actual subscriptions and viewership and everything.
But it's all internal. There's no way to check it.
Because they don't reveal those numbers. It's kind of annoying. But that's why they don't have a pilot thing. It's one of the reasons why Kevin Spacey and what's his name? Director of the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Oh, I don't know.
Fight Club.
David Spade.
David
No.
The original Dune. I can't.
David Lynch.
David Lynch.
God,
They
like
went
David
to
Spade. Really?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Spade's on our mind because of
Yeah.
Jack Spade and everything.
Wow. Okay.
They went to Netflix because everyone wanted a pilot, and like, we're not doing a pilot. We know the story we want to tell. We know we can do it. And when the Netflix heard it, like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll give you 2 seasons.
Yep.
Here's your budget. Because they said based on the numbers. Again,
That was House of Cards.
that was House of Cards, and that's why they. So different people are having different things. I don't know. This does not feel like a typical pilot.
No, not at all.
But we won't know for a fact until we get to the second episode, because that's when you'll know if it was a pilot versus an actual.
Yeah. First of all, you'll notice the way it's shot is a little bit cheaper.
Not necessarily that is they won't be as much. The story will be different.
Yeah.
But I never thought Game of Thrones when I was watching the first season. Honestly, when I watched Game of Thrones for the first time, the first episode, it ends. Okay, this has been over a decade. Spoilers if you care, but
Whoa.
It ends with Bronn getting
Bruce Willis is dead. No.
Bronn getting pushed out the window. After catching Cersei and her brother fucking.
Okay.
Twin brother fucking in the tower in not in King's Landing, in Winterfell. Big cliffhanger. Oh, didn't care. Like
Nope.
nothing. Like I'm like I was gonna watch it. I already knew I was gonna watch it because I knew I wanted to see a little bit more. But I was nothing in it. Like okay,
All right. So that happened.
it was the second episode that caught my attention.
Usually, it's second episode of a series that
No,
will.
usually pilots can bring me in, but for this one, it was the second episode that drew me in.
I have also found that with series that have gone on for much longer, sometimes it's random episode.
Yeah.
They're just like, you know what? Check out this random episode, and you're like, I really liked that. And they're like, all right, now go back to here and start here.
Yeah, no, start from the beginning. And
Like
get
with
the-
Doctor Who, it's just like, okay, now go back to 2005 and start there, or the start of any one Doctor.
So it will be interesting to see where they're going. But I absolutely blown away. That's why it's a 5 for me. I just
All right.
like, yes, I'll watch this probably again later on. And like, okay, this is a little bit. I'll start to see some of the flaws that can improve. But just based on what I kind of am expecting, I was expecting it to be good, but I wasn't expecting to be blown the fuck away.
That's true.
Like we were. And I think it's also better that we watched it together. To do that. So yeah, I'm rating it as a 5.
Good, good.
So, but yeah, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You have our official review of the first episode of the pro wrestling show Heels.
Tim, since the show is going to be coming out every week, you
Yep.
want to just do a review of every episode until the season's done?
For the most part, yes.
I mean, other than major news and
we'll have to do predictions for
predictions.
All Out.
But whatever, we can do that. That's cool.
But because like if you, ladies and gentlemen, if you missed our news last week, you don't know that we are changing as the buckle turns to something different.
Yes, we are.
With the struggle to focus on news when we have weeks when very little changes.
And then suddenly everything fucking changes.
Yep. And it's usually right after we fucking record.
Yeah. So thanks everybody. Why is
sorry,
it going
we
to be
bu-
happening on Fridays and
Sorry,
Saturdays?
Adam has a full-time job.
Yeah.
My job I have when I work is on the weekends. And I'm also trying to launch my own business. Yeah, it just doesn't work us to be able to do it. Me to run up the new market every time news breaks to do a quick recording to cover it.
Yeah. No need. No need.
So we will be continuing as big news breaks, predictions, but we're going to be changing this to our own professional wrestling podcast, actual wrestling podcast show.
Yes, we're
So-
running our own company.
So if any of you have watched that terrible, awful, god awful, acid in the mouth show Nua,
It's the most amazing pro wrestling show here on ZOP Gaming.
not until we start.
I know.
But if you watch that, Adam does the exact same thing, but he's doing it through 2K
Yes.
video games. We're going to be doing the same thing, but we're not going to be doing it with actual game. For years, I ran my own wrestling league, and I'm doing air quotes. I know you can't see me.
Your own eFed.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Thanks for dating me.
Hey, you know what, man?
You
People
just-
still talk about eFeds today.
Not the young people.
No.
They're like, what's that?
Oh.
You think
It's like
though, with,
email, but
but you,
with federations.
but you think with all the technology we have now with the website, you could actually do a really cool.
You could
eFed
probably do an amazing one today.
Yeah. So I'll get to this in
Okay.
a side note. This one of the things I wanted to try to do because they actually did have an app, a Java plugin at one point that you could do for like voice chatting. We could
Yeah.
actually use your microphone. I thought about trying when I was running one of my eFeds to do run a live commentating eFed
Huh.
for the show.
All right.
I never did, but I thought about it. Basically, that's what we're gonna be doing here.
Yes.
Because like I say, for years I ran my own federation through Excel, where I booked the matches, write out the segments, and then on pay-per-views I would actually write out the finishes of all the matches based on the storylines and everything, and where I was going, and all that. And I'll just keep it in an Excel sheet, keep track of the wins and losses and all that. We're gonna be doing the same thing. We're going to be coming up with our own federation. We actually...
We've already started.
we already started. Adam, should we give them the name?
No, not yet.
No?
Not yet.
So the name is called Paw Wrestling.
You son of a bitch. You know what? We got to end the show here. We're running long. I'm really sorry.
No, so we will be doing that. We will be giving more details in the future. But that's what we're gonna be going forward. We'll be doing one episode every week. It's gonna be so many matches. It's gonna be a mix between men and women. We will have intergender wrestling matches.
Yes, we will.
We're going to. I think we can make at least some announcement here.
Okay.
We will be launching off the big. When we do start this, we're still hoping for September.
Maybe.
Sometime in September to do this. We're gonna be launching off with a massive tournament, a Grand Prix tournament.
Exactly.
For it and everything. So that's to get you going there. But we'll have that. We'll be doing it weekly, and it's gonna be a really cool thing. I think to have fun. Maybe we'll even eventually have to branch out into separate brands at some point.
Maybe.
But we're gonna take it slow.
Exactly.
It can be easy to go too fast, too much. But
Blow our wad super early.
yeah, you get in there and it's all over the place.
You know what? I prefer
and
to go slow.
and nobody's satisfied.
Yeah, exactly.
Except
Take
for the
our time.
Except for the person who blew the load,
Take our time.
like Adam.
Slowly work it until everyone enjoys themselves.
Except for Adam, who enjoyed himself at the very beginning.
I'll just continue to enjoy myself forever.
But yeah, so that's what we're gonna be doing going forward. But yeah, until we get to that ready to start putting those episodes out, we're gonna start reviewing heels every week.
Yeah, why not?
We'll do predictions for All Out.
Yep.
And Adam,
Yes.
quick prediction. CM Punk, Rampage tomorrow night, yes or no?
I want to say yes.
Is he going to be wearing the mask, or is he going to actually come
I
out?
want to say him in mask, hits a GTS, rolls out of the ring, and disappears.
I would love if he did that, but I actually think he's going to come out. He'll actually... No. He's going to pull a Raven. He's not going to do anything. He's just going to be singing in the crowd. Front row.
that works too.
Front row.
I'm here.
I'm here. Winks at the camera. Am I actually here, though?
Haha. Anyway.
But yeah, I think, Tony Khan said, I think the fans know what to expect for Chicago at Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
And TNT and Warner Media, if he debuts, are apparently willing to put the Warner Media marketing team behind him.
Good.
You know the thing that he claimed WWE never even tried to do with him?
They didn't.
Even when he was the hottest thing after his pipe bomb?
Yep.
They just tried to kill it as quickly as they possibly could.
Can't get over.
Yeah. It just goes to show you how much Vince McMahon doesn't give a shit about people who can get over naturally.
Yeah.
He only cares about the people he wants over.
Exactly.
But yeah, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard our review of Heels. Let us know down in the comment section if you watched it, what you thought of it. Do you think it's a great pro wrestling show, or do you think it sucks? Tell us down below. Defend your opinion.
The only answers are: do you think it's a great one, or are you an idiot? I mean, seriously, come on.
Or are you a dumbass?
I mean, I'm just kidding. I love all of you. You're all special.
And because Adam called you an idiot, we lost all 3 of our listeners this time. Good job, Adam. Anyway,
Fuck yeah.
You made the end of this. How long have they been listening to this?
Over an hour.
Over an hour. It's been a while. 2 weeks in a row, over an hour. There we go. Wait until we start doing our pro wrestling. We'll probably be back to an hour and a half again.
Exactly.
But go ahead. Give us some thumbs up. You're clearly liking this, what you're listening to. Help YouTube know you liked it, and they should post this. No. You know what? Fuck it. Smash that like button.
Okay.
Are you going to do the ding?
No, not really.
No. Ding?
It's never for the thumbs up.
That's right. It's not for the thumbs up. I forgot.
I know.
I'm just all over the place. And because you give us a thumbs up, there's a ton of great content on Zop Gaming. Except for Nua. Nua sucks. It's terrible.
It's awesome.
Paul Wrestling is going to be so much better.
I mean...
Anyway, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Ding!
Make sure you ring that bell.
Ding, ding.
And make sure you turn on all notifications so you know when all as the Buckle Turns content and everything but Nua goes live. Yeah, that's 3 digs at Nua.
Seriously, you don't need to dig at Nua, man.
Yes, I can. Yes, I do.
It's a great show.
I have to. It sucks so bad. Like your balls, your dick, and your face. Bye!